There's no reality, there's only perception. And people's perceptions about you are real. That's point 22. Don't lean in too far or too far away from how you're perceived. 50 even went in to how he can take the perceptions that people have and shape it to get him closer to the goal that he has in his mind for himself. Marvelous the way that this guy plays chess through life. Some of us play checkers. Oh no! And I think I'm one of those checker players, or at least I used to be. I'm gonna try my best to come out of that. Point 23. Curtis, or should I say 50, helped me understand and not feel guilty or bad about being different versions of myself. The version of myself that maybe was a little bit procrastinating, or the version of myself that was a little too heavy-handed. The version of myself that used bad tones with people and offended them and hurt their feelings. Am I proud of those things? No. Do I like those things about myself? No, not really. But what was my intention the entire time? My intention was always to help make things better, get a group of people or myself closer and closer to a goal. And that's what I tried to do, but the version of me that was trying to deliver that message didn't always come out the best. So, hey, what can I do? Except be comfortable with that version of me. That was me then, and I'm not that now. And there are people that will still remember who you used to be, and they'll think that's who you still are. And what I learned from the book is, hey, you are gonna believe what you're gonna believe. There's nothing I can do about that. One of my favorite sayings is, the wrapping paper matters. That's what I love to say. Let's make sure I'm in focus. That's what I love to say. The wrapping paper matters. Because you could wrap up something, let's say a piece of shit, and you wrap it up with the most beautiful wrapping paper, anointed with the longest ribbon, the best bow, but it's shit at the end of the day. And you know that it's shit, but you want someone to accept this gift. So you present it well. As opposed to, let's say, a tennis bracelet. And if a tennis bracelet comes wrapped to you in, an old comic book strip or supermarket advertisement, you didn't take time to wrap it with any care, then the person that is in receipt of the tennis bracelet might feel a little bit disrespected. They may not want anything to do with it, you, or the gift. Damn a tennis bracelet. So you just want to be careful with how you present yourself, your business, your things, whatever it is. I love learning that lesson. Point 25. How should you perceive perception? 50 goes into how you should never, ever, ever overplay your hand. I am a poker player. I don't play as often as I'd like, but I like the idea that sometimes you can bluff a hand, but usually you're not going to win a lot of your games of poker by continuing to bluff. You should have something at some point, and you should never overplay your hand. And 50 didn't do that with stars. Curtis didn't do that with G-Unit, but he does talk about times that he may have overplayed his hand, but that was that version of him. And it's cool hearing somebody talk about how you shouldn't overplay your hand and the things that could come from that. Love point 25. Jeez, gotta get in the shade and stay in the shade. The reason I'm not showing my face on this point is because 50 goes into something that I feel is private. And I don't think you should see anyone's face when I'm making this point. This is point number 26. He went into a relationship that he had with someone famous, Chelsea Handler. He spilled some tea, yes, but it's not any tea, from what he said in the book, that she hasn't shared publicly herself. So me telling you that 50 had a relationship, I cannot say to what degree, I cannot say how fond they still are of each other, but I can say 50 had nothing but good things to say about Chelsea in the book. And he realized something about himself, that Chelsea Handler was a woman that he could see himself with because she, in a way, made him better. Now you think about 50 Cent. I mean, I'm a guy as well, and he's a man of much fame and fortune. And he could just, I don't know, goofy model after goofy model after goofy model. He could do that. Or he could go for something a little bit more, a little bit better for himself, and that is someone maybe on the caliber of a Chelsea Handler. And that's a really humbling thing to say, because consider 50 Cent or Curtis Jackson, whatever your pleasure. He doesn't have to say anything positive about another human being. He's already at the top, you could say, of his class. Why does he have to shout out someone like Chelsea Handler? Well, because I think 50's ego actually might be a lot smaller than we think. Or maybe his ego is really big, but his humbleness is also big. So when you think about that, think about 50. And I believe Chelsea Handler may be about his age or older. Chelsea Handler may be older than 50 Cent. So him even being open to engaging in a relationship with a woman, and let's be honest, we see what's going on in America right now. Him publicly speaking about him being in a relationship with a white woman. I really don't care, but I know a lot of people do. But that's something public that he didn't have to say. He didn't have to say that he admired this woman. He didn't have to say that he sort of looked up to her, and in a lot of ways, she was better than he was with certain things. What in the world? What sort of openness and humbleness is that? So maybe this point is actually several in one. Wow. He expertly captured the growth and development that a man goes through over the years when he was talking about this. I can certainly attest to that.